Now, straight off the bat, I just want to apologise to everybody if it offends you, if it disappoints you, if it annoys you that I cannot pronounce some of the players' names during this series, so much so that you have to write a comment about it. So I do apologise. I will try my utmost best to take in all of your suggestions on how I should be saying it and work harder to be better just for you. Now we start season number 5 of this Venezia save. I can't wait, part 1. And we start off looking at this guy, Kragan. He is from Thailand. He is absolutely amazing. And I mentioned him in a very recent video about trying to sign him. Yeah, I tried that. He said no, he didn't want to leave his club. And then he moved straight away to Paris. So Paris Saint-Germain obviously come in and wanted him. And he just said yes instead of coming to me instead. So that was disappointing. Behind the scenes though, of course, we've been working on making the club better. So improving the training facilities, it's happening again. And if we do take a look at the club information, we already have excellent training facilities. So we're going to be almost at state of the art. So I'm really happy with how we are progressing this club because it's going to help our players develop and get better as we go along, obviously, and hopefully take us further than just finishing second. Because last year, I do think we overachieved, and of course, this season, we're now going to have Champions League football to also contend with. So I very much doubt we will finish as well as what we did last season, where we didn't have any European football, we could just focus on the league. But I think we can still kind of finish in a European spot, maybe the Europa League, maybe Champions League, we'll see. And also behind the scenes, we have been bringing in a lot of different staff members, including physios, a couple of new scouts, under 20s goalkeeping coach, and a first team goalkeeper coach as well. So that's what we're doing behind the scenes in the staff. But of course, we only had £10 million to play around with for this season. I don't think we could have brought in a lot of money, well, a lot of players with that money. If we wanted to kind of bring in elite talents, we would have to have started selling our players. I also didn't want to do that either. But before I show you the transfers, today's video is sponsored by SPITCH. That is the brand new to the market fantasy football app that you guys will really enjoy. And in fact, a lot of you have already been enjoying it because you've been joining my Mega Loot Community League, and we've been battling out against each other alongside Dad as well, who has also joined the league. It is free to sign up for everybody who is in the UK and Ireland, but you do have to be over 18 to join, and you might have to show a picture of your ID. But once you've done that and you're in, it is free to play. And the app lets you build your own team, collect points, and battle it out against each other like in my community league. And you do have a chance of winning up to £70,000. I didn't pay a penny into SPITCH, and in my first week of doing it, I won some money. I literally couldn't believe it. It wasn't a lot, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like lottery numbers. I wasn't that good in the league, but I still won some money, and I didn't pay a penny. But the best thing about SPITCH is that I say time and time again, I am terrible at fantasy football apps because I forget about them after about 3 or 4 weeks. Doesn't have to worry about that with SPITCH. It is a week by week basis. If you miss 1 week, you can just take part the next week. It doesn't really matter. Use the app as well because it also has a statistical analysis to pick the players that you want in your team. You don't have to leave the app and go to another one to find out who's scoring the most goals. You can do that just through the app itself. So if you use my link down below in the description, like I say, it's free to sign up. You'll also be helping support me as a content creator, and you can join my league. There's a link down there for my league. Come and join us, have some fun, and thank you very much to SPITCH. So on to the transfers. I had £9 million. I spent £9 million. We had no outs, only Luca Popper who left on a free transfer. So let's look at this first guy from Valencia. We mentioned him in the last episode, the left back that's come in, Christian Ceballos. He has come in. He is a fantastic left back, like I say, with a great potential. I've integrated him into the first team, and what I have done is that training, I'm going to try and up that intensity level. When I get given the option, I'm going to upgrade that intensity level. We're training him as that wing back, and we're trying to work on his quickness because it's not as good, especially acceleration. Andrew Diaz is the next player that we have brought in, a right back. And I actually think, I mean, we've been playing Del Prato there. We've also got Another player there, Mazzoni, I think it is, who has been playing right back. But this guy for £3.1 million, I've been playing him. Although he hasn't been doing very well, I think if we stick with this guy, we can probably produce a better player than the two right backs we've been using. 19 years of age as well, and he can play across, well, he can kind of play across the back three, but also in a defensive midfield option too. And that is because he is also really good at passing. So good tackling, good passing. We just need to work on that crossing and dribbling as well, intensify that. But the mentals and the physical attributes are already fantastic. Resolute personality is a good one, so I know he's got a good head on his shoulders. 19 years of age. Hopefully we can progress. And the final player that you guys probably all know about, William Swedenberg. He is absolutely fantastic. He has already moved to the league through Inter Milan. Obviously at the start of the game you can find him at Hammarby, but we have picked up Swedenberg for £6.25 million, which I think is an absolute steal. Now there are a couple of players who are wanting to leave, and because I haven't played them every single game, they're kicking off a little bit, Diamonde being one of them. And I think we bring this guy in because as like a deep line playmaker or in that ball winning midfielder, we can use him to our advantage, and hopefully he can turn into the world beater that you guys know he can potentially be. Now I did toy around pre-season changing this role into the attacking or advanced playmaker role, but it just did not seem to click, and that reason is if we take a look at the first couple of games, we lost the first one to Roma, a team we have been beaten time and time again. We lost, so that is really unfortunate. And even in the second game, I mean, Robert Picks, he only got a 91st minute equaliser despite us going down 1-0 to Torino, another game that we should be winning because we finished in second place last year, so it is disappointing. But you can already see it. We have been given our Champions League group. Look at it. It's hard, isn't it? Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, and Young Boys. And I think because it's the first time in the Champions League, our live com today, I think it's going to be the last game of the Champions League group. Whether it means we'll be playing for anything or not, we've got to, right? It's a Champions League group, so that's what we're going to do. So that's how we've been doing throughout the season. Let's simulate. We'll come back. Let's find out. It's going to be the Atletico Madrid game that we will be playing. Okay, that's going to be the most difficult one away as well. Tactically, this is what I'm going to rock with going forward for the simulating part of this season. I want all of these players playing as many games as possible, and the rest, the assistant manager can pick. Who would he pick though? Let's take a look. If I go to unpicked positions, it would look like this. So, there's a few players that I wouldn't necessarily pick there myself, but I trust him. I trust my assistant. And so we're back, the 10th of December, right before the Atletico Madrid game. And well, it's not as bad as what I thought it could have gone, to be honest. Venezia here in 7th place. 26 points. We're only 2 points off both Milan and Lazio ahead of us, and not too far away from the top 4 positions. We are quite far away, 12 points from Inter Milan, but they are just ridiculously good on this. They've only conceded 3 goals so far in 15 games. Of course, we had that bad start, and it didn't exactly carry on that well, but we have kind of turned it around with 7 wins in total. We got a 4-0 win against Udinese, a 1-0 win against Juve is absolutely fantastic, to be honest. 2-1s against Genoa and Fiorentina, 6-2 Empoli, 2-0 Sassuolo, and a 4-0 against Cagliari. That's great. So, I mean, we've picked up 3 losses, Milan, Lazio, Roma. We've seen the Roma one already, and a lot of draws, and it's only in the games where we cannot score 2 or more goals, which does tell me that defensively we should be doing quite well. If we take a look at fewest conceded, actually we're joint in 5th place for that, and most clean sheets, we aren't there at all. But in the games that we are conceding goals, we are still scoring some as well. Who is scoring them though? That's the question, because Pickman, he has got 17 goals and 20 appearances. The Bren Dogs, he's got 12 in 20. 12 in 20. 17 in 20 for our front two. Both of them have been absolutely fantastic for us, and I've got a feeling they're both wanted. Indeed they are. Inter, Hertha Berlin, and then look at all the clubs coming after Brenner. Get your hands off him. He is mine. They do have a few years left on their contract, so we should be fine. So our lineup looks a bit like this. There are a few players who are needing a rest, but fortunately, we can't afford to do that. And that is because if we do take a look at our Champions League group, we are actually in contention of qualifying from this. We kind of I mean, young boys, they're not going to do us a favour at all, are they? Because they've lost 5 out of 5 already. They're against Borussia Dortmund. We're against Atletico Madrid. But if we get a point in this, I think we'll go above Borussia Dortmund. We have 3 victories, both the young boys games and the Dortmund game. We have drew 1 against Dortmund and we lost 1 against Atletico Madrid. They lost against Dortmund and drew against Dortmund. So Dortmund's done quite well in the fact that even though that they haven't managed to beat us, they've still managed to get a couple of wins and a couple of draws so that they are also in contention to go through. But we're guaranteed Europa League, and that is not a bad thing at all. So we've got to be happy with that. So I cannot afford to rest any of these players because both Ceballos and Giancarlo is both out injured. So we're going to have to play Mazoch. We're going to have to play him. Diaz is going to go on the right side. He's been absolutely fantastic there. Our back 3 that we're used to seeing right now, although I'm going to put Scalves in the middle there, and Arojo is going to go out on the right. In midfield, we got Peter there and Swedenberg in midfield in that centre role, and then of course Andre Sheldrup. I'm getting all these names wrong on purpose in case you didn't realise. The Pickmeister and Brenner up top, Francisco Fort on the bench. Now, Diego Simeone is still at the helm at Atletico Madrid that we can see, and they still have a fantastic team, and Luis Suarez is still there. Remember, we're in season number 5 now. Big players like Boubacar Kamara, who of course is kind of in his prime now. João Palhinha is also fantastic, and by the way, it's a hell of a lot harder to say names wrong, so I'm going to ignore doing it anymore and try and say them right. I hope that didn't annoy you too much and you clicked off. Let's get into the game though, because I do fancy our chances. They might have beat us last time. We might be away, but come on. There's a little bit of belief. João Felix, of course, still here. They've got a fantastic side, and it is Diego Simeone still there. A great manager. I hate to say it, but he is a great manager. We're not exactly on form either. We've got 2 wins in our last 5, including a loss and 2 draws. But it's a Champions League, and miracles can happen. Right, we're very early into the half. We've had 1 shot, and it wasn't on target. They've had 7 so far. They completely dominated the game, which is kind of expected with the quality that they have on the pitch. But I don't think they've created many clear-cut chances, and their XG isn't fantastic. They've got Max Aarons right now running down the right-hand side. Plays it back to Correa, back to Aarons. He's found João Felix to Llorente. Gomez, who used to be more of like a centre attack midfielder, who's been playing out on the left now. Llorente plays it in. João Palhinha's there. It's unlucky from Atletico Madrid. I still felt like, though, defensively, we're looking quite secure at the back there. But this is where it could be undone. Quick counter-attacks, that's where we could be undone and we're not set up. I think once they get to our box, we're hard to break down. Here we go. Diaz now on the right-hand side. You've done great. Find a man. Pull it back. Sheldrup makes it 1-0. Oh, the Venezia dream of going through to the first round knockout stage is alive, and we'd be top in the group with a win, to say the least. A draw would be enough, I think, to take us through, but a win tops the group, and then of course we get the easier draw, and that's when probably Man City has finished second and they get the easier draw because they pull us, because that always happens. Man City, I mean, if they didn't pull us, they'll pull out Rochdale, and Rochdale's not even in the competition. They just always get the easy draw. Swedenberg to Mazochi, playing on the wrong side, but he's still doing all right there. He's still doing okay. Shatalo, getting his name right just for you guys. Andre Sheldrup. Brenner, back to Sheldrup. You're in for a brace. That's easier to score. How have you done that? What he has actually done, viewers, is harder to do. I'm demanding more. Just for you, viewers. Sheldrup. Scalvini to Swedenberg. It's a lovely ball to Diaz. He hasn't been tracked. Can you provide again? It's a penalty. Oh, this is a big opportunity. Oh, if only Sheldrup had scored that goal. It could be 3 now. It should be 3. It is definitely a penalty as well. Come on, who's going to take it? It is Brenner. Of course, he scored one in a recent episode. It was a fantastic penalty as well. He steps up again and he fires it in. Get in there, Brenner. You absolutely beautiful Brazilian / Italian. Remember, it's his second nationality. Nobody knew about it, not even me. But he has fired one in. And now, even in Madrid, we're 2-0 up. Come on. Madrid are on the attack, though. Atletico, actually. Mazzocchi has cleared it. We've got a breakaway here. Piccoli, he's found Brenner. You've got a lot to do, though. He's found a gap, but it's a weak shot. That's the highlight, though, and I'll take that. Sheldrup. What a shot. Oh, he's brought a big save. I didn't did think he had a good free kick in him. And that is about 35 yards out. So he's done well. Borussia Dortmund, that you can see down there, are 2-1 up. This would actually knock out Atletico Madrid. It wouldn't just make us top, but it would knock them out, which means it's annoying because that means they have something even more to play for. But right now, they're not doing the business. We are. Touch wood, it doesn't change. Half time then. We've just got to keep going. I don't want to say too much, but I'm going to tell every single person, you've got the ability to make a difference. Defensively, attacking wise, another goal kills them. Ismael Benassa comes on for Luis Suarez. That's a weird substitute. Correa's now gone up top with João Felix, and they've changed roles again. Correa's gone out to the left. They're panicking. They're moving players everywhere. 55 minutes gone. They've brought off both Luis Suarez and João Felix. They've brought them both off. Amazing. Gomez with the ball. It's a good save. Valido is a great save, and Benassa can't even put in the rebound too. It's cleared for a corner. Defensively, we need to be solid here. Good head. I've got a good defensive routine, I think, Sap. I've always put 2 people on the post. I have 3 people at that front part there, zonally marking, and the rest man marking with 2 players up top. I have found that I concede a lot less from corners using that. And sometimes, every now and then, you get a little breakaway. And maybe a goal. João Palhinha has now dropped into the centre-back role. He's more of a defensive midfielder. Can we exploit that? Correa's picked it up. He's played it back, but all the way back to Llorente, and that's when we can set ourselves. He's offside. He's miles offside. I can see that. Valido almost saved it too, but so good defensively. Incredibly good defensively. Get out. Come on. Set up for the free kick. It's offside, son. Not even close. Not even close. I could fly a fighter jet through that gap. I can't fly though, so I couldn't. Palhinha, they're all playing out of position. Llorente's playing right back. Correa to Vanderson, who is a right back. Llorente, just got to keep being solid. 70 minutes gone. I think he's off as well. Valido, I mean, he makes a little bit of a hash of it. It is, again, offside. FM are trying to spoil them with highlights for terrible attacks because they are not producing anything right now. I'm going to make a couple of changes, though, because I think Cameron Puertes will bring him off. Brescanini is going to come on. It's a tough decision, but I think I'm going to have to take off Andre Sheldrup. I'm going to bring on Diamonde, and Piccoli, he does need a rest, and he isn't playing that well. We're going to bring on Francisco Forte, who is still here and has signed a new contract. His contract was running out last season. He wanted like 50 plus grand a week. I was like, no. End of the season, accepted one for 36 for 2 years. I'm all right with that. I'm fine with that. That saves me an extra 20 grand. Just 20 minutes left of this game. 16 attempts each, both 7 on target each. We've got a much better XG, but we have taken our chances. Oh, there's a highlight in the 89th. They score now, and it's just a little bit bum twitchy, isn't it? Diaz. Just be smart, Diaz. Valido to Scalvini. Look how calm and composed we are. Just passing it between each other. Up to the big man. Win that if you can. I mean, he has, but he's had a shot. And a 45-yard headed shot probably isn't going to go in. Aarons. They're starting to push people further forward. Is he off again? Gavilan, it doesn't matter. He's skied it. It's awful. We've caught Atletico Madrid on a very bad day, and I'm absolutely loving it because we topped the group in our Champions League group. That is absolutely insane. This team should not be doing that. In our first year in the Champions League, we topped the group. In a group with Dortmund. In a group with Atletico Madrid. We get 13 points and we go through as top. Man City there, battering Benfica. Hopefully that means that they finish top and we don't have to play them. Juve, 8-0. I'm curious as to who we pull, but you're going to have to wait until tomorrow's video. So, we're going to leave it here. I'm going to play on for the rest of this half season. Come back after January transfers happened. Maybe we'll even come back for that first game in the Champions League draw and see who we've pulled out. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.